Apparently you heard this here first because nobody else can tell you this. Craig Wright is not the founder of BSV. From a computer code standpoint, Satoshi Nakamoto is who invented Bitcoin. He is the founder of BSV. The name BSV is a verbal, literary assignment, a name, a label to the original Bitcoin code after it was forked. BTC contains Bitcoins that start with the number 3 in their address. It also contains ones that start with the number 1, but it contains ones that start with the number 3, which means it's not the original code. So if you look at it from just a code point of view, after all the forks and all the dust is settled, BSV cannot be ruled as a security if it's given a fair shake. Those of you saying that Craig Wright founded BSV, let me. I already gave the analogy fucking a month or two ago and you idiots argued with me. It's like Enzo Ferrari inventing the first Ferraris. That's Satoshi Nakamoto. Then Enzo goes into hiding or he dies, one of the two. Meanwhile, Craig Wright comes along. Craig Wright says, I'm an inventor. My grandfather hung out with Marconi. They got the patents instead of Nikola Tesla. I'm an expert at the fucking patent office. Look at me, Linda. Craig Wright comes along and says, I'm going to invent a bunch of shit for BSV. So he does. He invents a bunch of add-on bullshit, which is fine. I'm not saying it's not important. The point is, that doesn't mean he's Satoshi. It doesn't mean he's the founder of BSV when he argues to the community, hey, we need to have a fork because we need to get back to how Enzo Ferrari originally built the Ferrari. I want the original Ferrari coming out of the factory so that I can add on the final touches that Enzo Ferrari wanted on the car. It's like Enzo Ferrari's original vision says that when Apple CarPlay finally comes out, I want that on my Enzo Ferrari also. And finally, and the Ferrari F40, and finally Apple CarPlay is invented because Craig Wright invents Apple CarPlay. And Craig Wright says we need to get back to a regular Ferrari with no cassette player in it, none of this. We want to put Apple CarPlay in it like Enzo Ferrari asked. We want to get back to the original Bitcoin and put these couple other little add-ons on like Satoshi originally asked. That does not make Craig Wright the founder of BSV because BSV is the original code. So when this whole commodity thing starts to occur, which I've been talking about now for 2 months, and I'm going to show you a fucking video of a guy. I'm not picking on the guy. He didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying, all you BSVers out there, let me guess. You know who this guy is. Hang on.
It came out, actually it's a relatively old, it's been out for like 8 months, but it's a post from Brian Doherty today. And he says, he referenced an article he wrote like 8 months ago. It wasn't just an article, it was actually a letter over to the SEC, like with a white paper on it. I read it this morning early, like 11 pages, and it goes into great detail about how the My Card Shares protocol is not a security and why, and how it meets all the elements of as a digital commodity. And therefore the regulators should take notice of the protocol in developing regulation around it. And so, while it can get a little bit legal and complicated reading the white paper for a lot of people, it was crystal clear to me on first read that white paper looks like it directly preempted the Clarity Act. So it was written around eight months ago. Clarity Act didn't come out until earlier this year. It's not out yet. It's still in drafting, but the draft was only a few months back. And in that Clarity Act, talked about mature blockchain and defining what is security, what's going to be a security, what's going to be a commodity under the new laws. And in order to be a commodity as a mature blockchain, you have to go through this process, meeting the standards of a digital commodity. And in the white paper, for the very first time that Brian Doherty and My Card Shares wrote, it's the very first time I've ever seen any company put out a white paper directing regulators for clarification about what a security is and what a commodity is, specifically to their protocol. And then not just begging and pleading, but actually setting out the facts and the law as to why it is not a security. This is important because in the future, and I'm not even saying it's going to be long, it's going to be the near future, we're going to have clarity on what a security is and what a commodity is inside the Bitcoin space. And if you look at that Clarity Act, you read through it, and you look at that paper by My Card Shares, you'll notice a lot of similarities. You'll see that there really is only going to be most likely there really is only one blockchain and protocol that can be defined a commodity. Because it has to meet these 5 elements. It has to have a neutral point of organic growth. No founder. It cannot have an originator, an issuer of all the tokens. It has to be proof of work. can't be proof of stake. That's another thing. Just risk-wise. And it's got to be these elements in law that define it as a commodity, a digital asset, a good that can be sold as property. One of the things about that Mike Archer's paper I liked was that it talked about property rights, like property as a investment protocol. So use the example of investing into REITs, REMIC like real estate investment trusts. And these people can invest in the real estate protocols, like, and it was technically a real estate commodity. It wasn't a security because they're investing in property. So it's like, oh, you're buying property as an investor. That's a commodity. So same thing.
I don't know if he ever goes on to explain that BSV, because I haven't watched the whole thing yet, it just popped across my YouTube. I don't know if he ever goes along to explain that BSV is a commodity, because Craig Wright did not found BSV. Craig Wright named the BSV after it forked, maybe. He might have assigned it the verbal name, but the actual code is the original Bitcoin code. You fucking morons. I'm so sick of stupid fucking people. I make Brandon smarter. I'm gonna type BSV is Bitcoin. Now everybody thinks you're a fucking retard because you don't have any logic behind your statements. I'm very well aware how that could be interpreted. I'm also very well aware that the vast majority of you are low IQ shits. Are you not?